How do you persevere in business? Whenever there's times of great change or challenge, I'm curious to know how you keep going. Today I'm delighted to meet Amy Wethers, the co-founder of this amazing gym, Arise Fitness, here in County Armagh. These guys started a gym in lockdown, and I'm curious to know how they persevered and kept going to create what is today a thriving gym, encouraging lots to get going in their fitness. So let's meet Amy today. There might even be a workout at the end for me to do. So let's jump in and chat to Amy and see what we can learn from her leadership insights. So it's great to be joined by Amy today. Thanks so much for having this conversation. And Amy is not only an amazing business lady, she runs this amazing gym, but she's also an international volleyball player, a mountaineering expert, and also does some of the craziest fundraising challenges for charity that I've ever seen. And we're going to really learn some amazing things from Amy today, and it's just a real privilege to be able to meet and chat through some of your leadership insights. So we're going to start now with our first question, which, Amy, why would you persevere in a business when it's facing change or challenge? Why would you not just throw the towel in?
The easy thing would be to throw the towel in, not get out of bed in the morning. But it's not an option. For me, the fitness industry has been a big part of my life from early on. Sports background really has helped with that. But giving up, I always say my line is, giving up is not an option. Even in the middle of a spin class, that's my line. It's easy to pack it in whenever you wanted to, but if you really want to achieve something in life, I think it's worth pursuing and it's worth going all out. And if you fail, you'll learn from it. I've always been taught, you don't necessarily always get your way, but you will learn if things don't go your way, and if you try it again and try it again, you'll finally get there. And I think it's that just not giving up attitude, which you need in any type of business, whether it's fitness or whatever it is. You need to, if you want something bad enough, you got to go after it.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Your background in elite sport and just the challenges you take on, do you feel your personal background in sport and in training has given you or equipped you to help you lead this business in what was really a challenging time in lockdown?
Yeah, definitely, because I play a team sport, so volleyball, there's only 6 players on the court at any one time, so you're going to spend time sitting on the bench, and that's not easy to take as someone who is pretty competitive and doesn't like sitting on the bench, but you learn from those experiences, and yeah, I think it's kind of taught me that you have to just keep trying and keep going, no matter what. And I'm thankful for my sports background, and my business partner Gemma, she also plays sport, and we've always said that we've learned so much in that you don't realise it until you're actually in those situations and you know how to deal with them. It's just like instantly we know what to do, we know kind of how to sort it out, and it's definitely from that background of learning from a young age. It's not all going to go your way. You're going to have to work hard at this if you want to make the team. If you want to represent your country at the highest level, you have to put the work in, and it's the hours that people don't see. It's the long sessions that you do in the gym or turning up the training whenever you're knackered. People don't see that. People just think they get it instantaneously, but they don't. It's that work ethic that comes from, I think, playing sport. For me, it has definitely helped me big time.
Brilliant. And was there one point during the last year or two that you thought, listen, this just isn't going to work, we might have to rethink this? Or was there a point where you thought, we're just going to have to dig deeper here? I mean, opening a fantastic gym like this takes a lot of work. I mean, how did you really make this happen? How did you keep going in moments that were really tricky?
I think for me, it was my family. I have a great family who supported me from day one, even whenever I came up with a crazy idea of opening a gym. They were like, okay, let's make it work. And I think having that support network of people around you to really back you, and whenever things aren't going right, you just have to take a second and be like, well, these people believe in you, so let's do it. And we had a community of people around us, people who, like, it wasn't big at the time. We started out with maybe only 30 members, but the fact we had 30 people who were walking through the door, they relied on us. So whenever people rely on you, I've got this, like, okay, well, it's not a can't let them down. I don't do failing people. So it's kind of that driving factor of my family, the small people, of network of people who actually believed in us and thought it could happen. But yes, there were days that, I could have given up. There's so many things happen in the building of it. We probably could write a book, but giving up wasn't an option.
And some of those clients that you mentioned, we were chatting just a few days ago. I mean, from going from a small group of members, say 2 years ago to now, you're really at full capacity, you were saying. I mean, that's an amazing achievement, and I want to say fantastically well done on that.
Thank you.
But what are the challenges that you are trying to manage now at that stage, from being, a small gym to being large and a lot of things going on every week? How do you cope with that? How do you keep going with that sort of new challenge?
Yeah, that is a big challenge because we've never had to deal with so many people before. Even whenever we worked in another gym, we only had our own clients to worry about. We didn't have everything else that comes with running the gym. So now that does take more time, and it's being smart with your time, I think, is one thing we've had to learn very quickly, that you can't do everything every week. You have to delegate and take time to do different things and stuff. But for us, we wanted to be a gym where you're not just a number, you are someone who's valued. We take time to learn people's names, learn a bit about them. I might not remember your name, but I remember a bit about you, probably. I'm not great with people's names. But we really wanted to create an environment where people felt safe. It feels like community. Our tagline is "Rise Up Together," and that's what we full-heartedly believe, that we don't leave anyone behind. And if you're struggling in a workout or something you can't do, we change it. We make it adaptable. We have people who are waiting for new knees. We have people who are elderly. We have people who are only starting out their fitness journey. It's a wide range of people we cater for, and that has always been our goal and our dream, is to make fitness for everyone, to enjoy and to get something out of it, because we've all had those bad experiences where you rock up to a class and you're pulled out for not doing something right. That doesn't happen in here, and if it does happen, it'll never happen again. We set high standards because we want the best, and we want people to feel like it is family, because lockdown and COVID has taught us that the people around you are really important, and every single one of our members is so important to us. And to lose one, we kind of go, well, why? It hurts whenever you lose just one person, and it could be just for genuine reasons they leave. But at the same time, you wreck your brain thinking, well, what can we do next? To kind of make sure we do stay this community, because that's what our goal and our aim of opening the gym was. That, exercise, fitness, everybody wants that, but people want something more, and we feel that we can provide that through our classes and through the banter, as Gemma would call it, that we bring to the workouts, and just being there and caring for people and actually taking interest in their lives. But it is hard. The bigger we get, the harder that is, but we've kind of brought on more people on board to help us with that, and try to delegate things out a bit more. But it's a challenge of the job, but it's kind of what we want to do, so it is.
I think just what strikes me as interesting, so for other business leaders watching this today, to grow from a small client base to a really large client base quite quickly, how did you go driving around Northern Ireland with big billboards on the back of lorries? I mean, how have you been able to grow a business in what are still extremely challenging times? I'm just interested to know what insight you can give us to how you've gone about that from your own experience, and I know with your co-founder Gemma.
Yeah, I wish we drove around with a big billboard. It might have been easier, but no, we didn't. I think it was just word of mouth. If you sell or you do something good or have a good product, word of mouth, people get results. It'll sell itself, and that's what we don't offer quick fixes or 10-week trades or anything, because we offer something that's life sustainable, and that people will see results down the line. But it's not only the results in terms of physical, but it's mental and how they actually feel about themselves. So for us, has been a lot of someone talking to such and such, talking to such and such, but it comes from the product that we have, I think. And I think in business, your product and the time and the effort you put into it is a massive part of it. We could advertise and put advertisements in the paper and spend money on that, which is brilliant, and I think you should do as a business, but at the same time, it's what we offer is what's getting people to come in through the doors, and it's what's keeping them. It's the community that you have around you. So it is.
Well, it strikes me you've created a very healthy environment, and you have good people around you, which is brilliant. In terms of looking ahead, with what the outlook at the minute in society and in the world is still challenging. How do you see kind of going forward and keeping that closeness and that connection with your customers or your clients here, but also wanting to grow and keep pushing on? I mean, or do you just settle now and sort of sit back? It's all fine.
I suppose it would be easy to settle, but then I don't think I'm on the mindset of settling. I always want something more. There's something always in my head, dreaming or thinking of something. It's just wanting the best for people. So the fitness industry moves quite fast. There's always things that are changing, and it's just about being current. And some things we do might work one year, and the next year they won't work. So it's just about being able to change it. And I think we work very well. We look at everything like 6 weeks, 6 months in advance, and kind of have plans. So we have starting to plan for September now. We were like, well, sure, how do you know what's going to happen? But if we have a plan in place, we can kind of tweak it and change it. And going forward, we just want to keep growing. For us, grow the members, get more people in through the door, offer different classes. Just be there for people and have the right environment for people to train in a safe way, and that they actually learn. If they can learn more and use that knowledge for their benefit, we've done our jobs then.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So, Amy, I'm interested just to look at some of the barriers that may be in people's minds, or maybe circumstantial barriers to someone wanting to either start a business or maybe develop a business to the next level. And your experience going through the kind of lockdowns and stopping and starting, I mean, how did you guys sort of overcome some of those obstacles, and what drove you to keep pushing forward and persevering at what you're doing?
Yeah, it was very hard. At the start, lockdown was obviously a big one. We got the go-ahead for the building, but we hadn't got the go-ahead because it was with the solicitors, so all the legal side of stuff. So we got the go-ahead, and then it was all shut down, and we were waiting. We couldn't do anything, and we just felt like we were wasting time. So we were growing a gym on Zoom for a bit, which I didn't enjoy, but it had to be done. So that was very frustrating because it was totally out of our hands. We had no control. Then from there, even in the building of the renovation work, every day there was another obstacle. We were even in a car accident and there was an obstacle. So, but I think it taught us a lot. It taught us that, okay, it's not going to always go your way. So I think learning that at the start of opening a business was really, really good. Because now it's easy. Not that we've done all the hard work, but we have. And anything that comes up now, we know looking back, if we can do all that in the middle of a pandemic, we couldn't get some of the materials, gym equipment, you couldn't buy it anywhere. There's huge delays and everything. So now it's kind of, well, no matter what we face, we know that we can get through it as a business and as a team. But for someone starting out, it is scary. It is very scary. Whenever we started, we couldn't even get a bank loan. So it was kind of like, let's empty our piggy banks and hope for the best. But that's where having a huge family support comes into it. Like Gemma's family as well as mine backed us all the way. And without our dads, we wouldn't be sitting here. So they're the people who we have to thank big time. But for anyone starting out, do your research. Kind of find what works for you and what you really want, because we knew group training was our thing and group exercise, so we had that kind of nailed. So then we went and we looked at different spaces that would work. But if you don't have what you kind of want to do nailed down, I would say hold off until you figure that out first, and then you can really grow from there. And sometimes you'll go to the bank and they'll not give you the money, so you're like, well, how am I meant to start? But it doesn't take much to just a little bit to get you going. You can start with less than what you actually think you need. But it was hard and it was a struggle, but I haven't regretted the decision. And I don't think I ever will. Because just with everything that happened, I would have had to do it, I think. But being able to do it under my own will and really wanting it, I think was better than being forced to do it.
Well, Amy, you're clearly a very determined person.
Some say mad.
And I can appreciate running a business. It takes a lot of extra hours that people don't necessarily see. Certainly in this context, I assume you have classes at weekends and evenings, early starts. Is this where you live, or what do you do to switch off from this? How how do you keep fresh so that when you are here, you're leading well and you've got, you're energized for the business? What do you do, and what advice could you give other leaders to consider how they could maybe look at keeping fresh and sharp throughout the week?
Yeah, I do live here most days. No, I try not to. It's so easily, as a business owner, you could so easily I could spend every hour in here if I wanted to, but that wouldn't be good for me, and it wouldn't be good for the business because I would be just so drained. And I think that's one thing I actually learnt over lockdown was how much I did before. I didn't even own a business then, but I just worked for myself. So, kind of being self-employed, how much I did then. And you're looking at lockdown and everything had to stop. And you're like, Amy, you were mad. You actually were nuts. So that taught me a lot of you need to stop, take time out. For me, I know my job is fitness and exercise, but I also love doing that. I love training. I get a buzz from that. I love going up the mountains. I'm no expert in them, but I love going up the mountains, out on the bike, out for a run. So people look at me and they're like, well, you do fitness all day long and then you still enjoy fitness. Are you not knackered? I'm like, no, it's my buzz. It's my way to clear my head. So I really enjoy that. And I would advise anyone who is in business to definitely take time for themselves. Find something that you love, find something you enjoy. And exercise is one of the best things you could possibly do for your mental health and your physical health. And for me, some of my best business ideas have been whenever I've actually been exercising and doing a good workout. Or if I have something I need to really think about, I'll get the bike out and I'll go and do 30, 40 miles on the road. That's like my office. I joke that that's my office, but it is. I hate sitting behind the computer. I hate it. It doesn't work for me. I know I have to do it sometimes, but some of my best ideas and things to think things out have been whenever I've actually been out for a walk up the mountains or out in the bike or physically exerting myself. There's just a little light that comes on in my head. Also, some of my craziest ideas have been those then.
I think the rest of us mere fitness amateurs are just happy to get through a workout, so you're a great example. So Amy, in terms of the craziest challenges that you have undertaken, because you're an amazing charity fundraiser and you do a lot of inspirational crazy challenges, what's on at the minute, or what's some of the exciting things you've been involved in, and why do you do it?
A big one was last November. I did a 24-hour gym marathon, so every hour on the hour for 24 hours we worked out. You came to join me for one. That was a big one. I didn't know if I could actually do it because I didn't know physically could I keep going for that length of time. But again, it was the community that got me through. On the last hour, this place was bouncing. I was in bits. I don't cry, and I cried at the end of it because I was broken. But it was the people who turned up to get me through it. And that was...
Can I just time out and say, I think I did the third hour with you.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah, you were only a wee bit in.
I cried at the end of my hour, so fair play to you.
Yeah, but it was not... I didn't cry because of what I'd done. I cried because the people who were there had backed me and had really came and supported it, got behind the charities. And that's what it was all about. I love helping people, and that's why I run a gym. It's because I want to help people, so that's why I do these crazy challenges. The next one coming up is to cycle Ireland. So to leave here, go to the bottom of Ireland, to the top of Ireland, and come back.
Sorry, what?
On a bike.
I was thinking you could cycle into Portadown and back.
So that's a big one. I've got a few friends who are doing that, so that'll be good. That's in July.
Great.
And then I have a few others planned, but we'll keep those under wraps for now.
Good. Well, you're an amazing, inspirational, persevering leader, so it's great what you're doing. We're going to wrap up with a couple of quick fire questions, and we're going to set the old watch here for about 90 seconds. So I'm going to fire you through a couple of quick questions, and love to hear your leadership insights. So Amy, what makes for a great leader?
For me, it's someone who's not afraid to get their hands dirty. Whenever you make it to the top, you still have to remember the people at the bottom and be willing to be with the people at the bottom. I have no issues in moving the bumper plates around the gym, as well as being in the front of house, as they say. But to me, I keep my feet on the ground, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty, I think.
Brilliant. If there had to be one leader or one person that's really inspired you Who would you say that is and why?
For me, I actually think it's my dad. You can cut this bit.
It's okay. Take your time.
For me, it's my dad.
I think that sums it up.
Yep.
You know, and I've met Amy's dad, and he is amazing.
It's his work ethic,
Yeah.
and his sheer determination. Some would say stubborn-headedness. I think that is. We're very stubborn.
There's a pattern.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. No, he's always he's had dreams and he's chased his dreams, and for him to allow me to chase my dreams and be there, like both my mum and dad have always backed me and my sister.
Yeah.
So for them, I can't have one. All three are probably my inspiration.
Good. Last question. If there was one key nugget of leadership insight you'd like to share with people watching this today, what would that be?
For me, it would be chase your dreams. They're dreams for a reason, and dreams can come true. Yeah. If you work hard enough, you put in the time and the effort, dreams really do come true. And don't let people will put you down and people will try to catch you out and say you're mad, but don't listen to them. If you want something bad enough, go after it. That's...
Wow. Amy, I want to say a massive thank you for being so honest and open just with your journey in this amazing business. I think you've shown just the leadership insights that set you apart as an amazing leader in our country. It's great to know you personally as a friend, and I think the leadership insights that you're sharing today are world class, and I hope people that are watching this are really inspired and encouraged with what you shared today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And before we finish, these bikes have been are they here for a reason? Should we try and check these out? So for a bit of fun, let's try out a bit of a workout here and see how we get on. And let's see what perseverance looks like at my age of life. Guys, thanks. Have a great week.